Not too long ago, I did a video on the threat that artificial intelligence poses to Hollywood. I used the word celebritard to describe many of the toxic leftists who reign there. Now, I got a comment telling me that although they agreed with the content of the video, the commenter had stopped watching when they heard that, quote, degrading derivative of a slur for Down syndrome. Now, the first thing I thought, honestly, well, it was actually covered a much broader range of maladies than just that, but be that as it may. It also occurred to me that we, as a species, have become much too sensitive to objectionable words and much too insensitive to objectionable deeds. There's been a degradation of free speech here in the United States, to be sure, but thank heavens for the First Amendment put in place by our very wise founders. It's kind of acted as a guardrail for the moment. But in many countries, you can be arrested for saying certain words. Americans find this hard to believe, but in the UK alone, more than 12,000 people were arrested just last year for using words that authorities found to be objectionable. At the same time, the same authorities turned a blind eye to an epidemic of mostly white women being assaulted by mostly Middle Eastern men for fear of being labeled Islamophobes. In what kind of sane world does this make any sense at all? In the Muslim world, every year, at least hundreds, probably thousands of people are arrested and sometimes killed for statements that are considered blasphemous or contrary to the prevailing religion. Like I said, things are better here, but we are by no means immune to this trend. It's become popular to fire people for using certain words. On the other hand, you could burn, loot, and destroy during the Black Lives Matter riots with no consequences whatsoever. Today, apparently, you can use your car as a weapon against the authorities and then have the authorities blamed when they take measures to protect themselves. Back in the old days, when we used to walk 10 miles to school through the snow and eat rocks, we would frequently call each other what would today be considered slurs. I can't even count the number of times that, due to my German heritage, I was called a kraut bastard while someone goose-stepped their way across my path. Nobody paid attention, nobody cared. We just had more important things to worry about. Of course, this was also back in the old-fashioned days when stealing was still considered a crime. I'm not at all sure that our current fixation with policing language is disconnected from our current disinterest in policing actual crime. Now, I'm going to give the commenter the benefit of the doubt and believe that they are less concerned about people using slurs than they are about people committing crimes. I'm also going to assume that this person is not what I have come to call Colorado nice. You find this a lot in the West, and not coincidentally near the big urban centers. People are very concerned about certain words and intellectual conformity, but heaven forbid they should be asked to do anything that's even remotely inconvenient for them. Well, they're nowhere to be found. Personally, I would much prefer dealing with somebody who used the occasional comical slur, but was there for you when things really hit the fan.